Alright, so Group A action, Rapid Wien versus Argis. Rapid Wien has to win to put the pressure on trying to get to second place. And they don't. Rapid Wien loses to the Romanian champion Argis. So that, I think, means that Argis just helped out both Ajax and Copenhagen. Yeah, because Argis and Rapid Wien can't catch second place. So Copenhagen, Ajax. So Ajax knows a win will give them the division. And they don't win. Copenhagen beats Ajax on home turf. That's a big win for them. Group B, Chelsea versus Mumbai. Chelsea trying to clinch their spot in the second round. And they do. On home turf, they beat Mumbai 2-0. So now Porto faces Zurich. If Porto wins, I think Porto gets a point. Porto just needs a point to clinch their spot alongside Chelsea. We know Copenhagen and Ajax in Group A. And it is Porto winning 3-1. So Porto's clinched their spot into the tournament next stage with Chelsea. Group C, Monaco and Genk. And Genk with a 4-1 win. Genk actually goes to Monaco and wins, so they had 4 ties, now they have a win. Liverpool can clinch first place in the pool, in Pool C, if they win. And they don't, they tie. So Shortgarden holds Liverpool to a tie. Big tie. Group D, Dortmund can clinch first place in the division by taking down Sociedad. And they do. They beat Sociedad, so Dortmund will win Group D. Now, Besiktas, a win over Shenzhen, puts the pressure on them to take second. And Shenzhen can do it, so Besiktas might sneak into second place somehow. Shenzhen is the stepping stone. Group E, Celtic and Monero. A Celtic win or tie. I think a Celtic tie means that they and Monero will both get in, I think. And it's Monero crushing Celtic in Scotland 3-0. So Monero is in. Kawasaki, if they beat Piast, that's going to be a huge game, number 6. And it is a shock. Piast goes to Japan and wins 3-1 and helps Celtic get their spot alongside Monero in the next round. Sydney and Dallas in Group, it says F, I think. This is F. Yeah, Group F. So Sydney and Dallas, those two are the lower ends. Dallas needs a win to keep a chance. And Dallas can't win in Australia, so Dallas and Sydney, I think they're both out. Yeah, practically they're out. So Dallas and Sydney are out, so it's Al Ittihad and Tigres in Group F. And it's a tie. Tigers tied, but they couldn't win in Saudi Arabia. Group G, Inter versus Gremio. Inter would clinch probably first place, I think. Yeah, Inter would clinch first place with the win, and Inter Milan couldn't do it. Gremio ties them. That's a tie. Arsenal, if they win, can't drop out of second place. So Arsenal would join Inter in the next round with a win. So it is a 2-1 win. Pepe. Arsenal wins, so they'll join Inter in the next stage. Argentinos is out with Gremio. Group H, Valerenga and Juju, the leaders. Juju can probably clinch first place in the group. And they do. Juju goes into Norway and wins 3-1, so big win for Jeju. So Paris, well, Paris can win. Paris needs to beat Shamrock. This is for second place in the group. and it's Paris Saint-Germain on home turf beating Shamrock and jumping into second place. Shamrock was hoping for better luck. Alright, so Group A, Ajax and Copenhagen are in. The games are kind of meaningless. Copenhagen does beat Rapid Wien. Well, Ajax has to beat Argus, because if Ajax gets a tie, will give Copenhagen the group. And it was Ajax with 50 seconds left. Berkhoy scored, so Ajax I think has won the group. Argus almost tied them, giving Copenhagen the group. Group B, Chelsea just needs a point against Porto to clinch first place in the group. The other games saw a shock. Mumbai. In a shock, Mumbai beat Zurich on home turf 2-1. Who saw that coming? Mumbai with a win. Chelsea just needs a point in Portugal to clinch the group. And they don't. They lose 3-2. So Porto beats Chelsea. Big win for them. In Group C, Shergarden and Genk. Genk really needs this win. And they do. Genk goes into Sweden and wins 2-0. So Genk, 2 wins and 4 ties. So, situation is dire. Okay, so Genk, if Monaco wins, winner moves on. Okay, so Liverpool wins, they win the group. Genk would be second and Monaco would be knocked out, surprisingly. Now, if Monaco wins, Monaco needs to win to knock Liverpool out. A tie helps Liverpool, so winner or tie helps Liverpool. They can't lose. They just can't lose. And it was a 2-0 win for Liverpool. So Liverpool and Genk will get in Monaco surprisingly out. So Genk moves on. Group D, Dortmund has nothing, but Dortmund can actually help Sociedad out. Let's see what Borussia can come up with. And it is a 3-1 win for Dortmund. So they in a sense are helping Sociedad. All they need to do is go to China and score 1 point, and they knock Besiktas out. And they lose 1-0 in China. Wow. So Shenzhen shocks Sociedad and wins 1-0. They out Besiktas. Group G, Monero, or is it Group F? I think it's F. It's Monero F, sorry. Yeah, this is F. Monero's in. Well, Monero and Celtic are in. Monero won the group, Celtic will take second. So these games are meaningless. And Monero didn't have to play hard, but Kawasaki couldn't do anything. So Monero sweeps the group. Celtic, knowing they're second place, they don't have to win. And they do, but they do 3-2. So if they go into Poland and win, the team that helped them get into this, okay, that was an Etihad. A win by Etihad, they win the division. And it is 2-2. And Etihad cannot win in Dallas. So that means Tigres. Well, yeah, it's known that, well, Tigres needs to win. If they can beat Sydney, they might even win the division. And it is going to be a Tigres win. So Tigres knew they had to beat Sydney and Etihad. Group G, Inter and Arsenal have to face each other. Well, they can actually, well, it doesn't matter, because even if Gremio wins their match, they can't catch Arsenal. So it's Inter and Arsenal, but Inter needs a point to clinch first place. And they get it. Inter wins the match and the group. So no matter what Gremio and Argentinos can do, they're out. And Argentinos won on home turf anyway. So, yeah. Group H, Juju and Paris. All Juju needs is a point to clinch the top spot. It'll be like a shocker. And it was going to be a shocker, but Paris scored 3-2. So Paris Saint-Germain, I think, has clinched with Juju. Yeah, that means Shamrock, even if they win, they can't do anything. So Paris jumps over Jeju. So Jeju is the second team. And Valerenga beat the dispirited Shamrock team 3-0. So we'll have the round of 16 coming up soon. Let's look at the group stage. Group A, Ajax and Copenhagen were both 5-1. Arches and Rapid Wien at least had one win. I think it was against each other. Group B saw Chelsea and Porto 5-1. Mumbai technically were better than Zurich on goal differential, so Mumbai not bad. They only scored 3 goals, but they at least won a game. Group C saw Liverpool and Genk 1-2. Monaco came close, but 3 losses didn't help anything. Genk didn't even lose a match. Djurgården scored 3 goals themselves. Group D, Dortmund and Besiktas on goal differentials snatched it out from Sociedad. Shenzhen did win a game at least with 5 goals. Group E saw Mineiro and Celtic, no ties in this group. Piast and Kawasaki both scored 10 goals in the 6 games. Pretty much a lot of good clips, but in the end, they couldn't do anything about Mineiro or Celtic. Group F saw Tigres and Al Ittihad. Tigres won. How did they win against Ittihad? Goal differential when they played each other, I guess? But anyway, Dallas took 3rd, Sydney 4th. Sydney only 2 points. But Dallas and Sydney both didn't win a game. Group G saw Inter and Arsenal. Argentinos Junior, Gremio, not bad, 5 points, but they took 4th. Group H, Paris Saint-Germain beats Jeju on goal differential, but goals scored. Shamrock 6 points, Valerenga with 4. So nobody really got blasted. So anyway, let's go to round 16. Paris versus Besiktas. It is too late. And Paris with the big win over Besiktas on home turf, 2-0. Tigres versus Arsenal. And it was Arsenal with the big win in Mexico, 2-1. Liverpool versus Al Ittihad. And Liverpool survives 2-1. Ajax and Celtic have to face each other. Well, this will be a big classic for quarterfinals berth. And tie game, no score. The Celtic held Ajax in check, so they could actually win this one. Dortmund will face Jeju, the surprise team coming from Korea. They have to face Dortmund, who have been lights out. Well, Jeju, they missed a penalty. They actually tied Borussia 1-1. Wow, this could be huge. You got Inter against Copenhagen. And it is a win for Inter, 2-1. Chelsea versus Genk, the team that somehow never loses. And Chelsea survives 2-1. Genk almost did it. Atletico Mineiro and Porto. This should be interesting. And Porto with the late goal in Brazil to tie it up. Second matches, Besiktas against Paris Saint-Germain. PSG can play defense. They're probably playing defense. And they did 2-0 win. So PSG doesn't let Besiktas score on them. So they are safe. We'll in the next round. Next up will be Arsenal and Tigres. Messi now the goal scorer here. Arsenal at home. And they go to penalties, and Xhaka scored the winning penalty as Arsenal survives being upset by Mexico's Tigres. Al Ittihad and Liverpool. Now, Liverpool knowing they have to go to Arabia. And it was a 2-2 tie. Ittihad pressed for the goal that would have helped things, but they didn't. Liverpool survives by an inch. And then we have Celtic and Ajax. There's James Gatwick at goals with Messi. They didn't score early. And it is a Ajax. Wow, Celtic had nothing. Ajax went into Scotland and won 4-0. So Celtic thought they could pull an upset. Jeju and Dortmund going head to head. Jeju could do something here, we know. And they don't. They do score, but Borussia scores 4 goals in Korea to win the game. We got Copenhagen and Inter. Well, we'll see what happens. Can Denmark pull off an upset? And they score, but Inter scores 3, so Inter wins the match. 6 down, 2 more. Genk and Chelsea. Chelsea going to Belgium. And Genk scores, but Chelsea scores 5 in Belgium, crushing Genk's hopes. 1 more to go. And it's Porto and Atletico Mineiro. They were tied 3-3. And it was a late goal by Pepe. Porto gets Mineiro out of there. So we know the quarterfinals. Yeah, there's not much time. So the quarterfinals. Well, they're interesting. The old guard, like 8 of the greatest European teams are still around. Paris Saint-Germain takes on Arsenal, Liverpool, Ajax, Borussia, Inter, and Chelsea, Porto. Those are your matchups. Now, Arsenal was the English Cup champion. Liverpool won that league thing, and then Chelsea won the Champions League spot. Man, 3 British squads. 1 from France, 1 from Germany, 1 from Holland, 1 from Italy, and 1 from Portugal. So yeah, so England's trying their best to win the tournament. Who knows and who cares? Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond.